Hey Lynbays, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Lyntrell and this is Lyntrell Official, a place for all things fashion, beauty, and business. Listen, today we are getting into my own makeup routine from start to finish. Many of you have asked me for this and I haven't done it in a while, so I definitely want to deliver. If that's something you enjoy, stick around for the finished look. At the end, let's go. We're gonna start off with a very clean face. I always start off with washing my face no matter what. If I washed it this morning and I'm doing my makeup in the evening, I always wash it again. I've just washed my face. I apply a very small amount of Vaseline to it, so a very thin layer just to put some moisture back into my skin, and then I wait until I'm about to start and I go in with Nivea cream. If you noticed, I don't put anything on my brows. That's intentional so that I don't have to wipe them when it's time for me to start doing my brows. If you notice, I have very thin brows that I'm growing back out right now at this time. So I don't put anything in that area because it makes it really greasy. And when I go to draw my brows out, it doesn't go on like I want it to. It has that grease up there, so I always end up having to wipe it anyway. I just try to avoid that area. If I do get any grease up there, or say for instance, I didn't exfoliate and it's flaky there, I will put some moisturizer there and then I'll just wipe it with a napkin before I do my brows. I take this pencil here with a spoolie. You can do any spoolie that you have right now as long as it's no mascara or anything on it. You want to brush your brows upward and you want to take the other side of it, or whatever pencil you have, whether you're using a pomade or eyeshadow or a pencil, whatever you have, go in and do your brows, but do it after you have brushed them upward. That way you're not fighting against curly hairs. This step is really important. After I'm done with my brows or done drawing them enough to where they look pretty full, I go back in with this spoolie and I blend it all back in. So that's why I said it doesn't matter if you're using a pomade or powder or shadow or whatever you're using, just go back in and blend it all in so that this starts to look natural. If it's too hard in the front, go ahead and spoolie it backwards to create a more gradient or more natural look up there. I've been doing my brows for many years, and I purposely did them not perfect so that you all can see that it really doesn't matter. I know this doesn't look like much at the very beginning, but it doesn't really matter if they're perfect right now because you're going to go back in and you're going to clean them up. And you want to take whatever brush you have, a very thin brush if you have one, something like this, very thin, like pencil thin. You're going to take any type of concealer. You don't want it to be too bright underneath there unless you're going to go for a really dramatic makeup look. For a very natural makeup look, I don't use a super bright color under there. I use something that's sort of close to my skin tone, maybe one shade brighter, but that's totally up to you. That's my personal preference for how I create this look. I'm going to go in and conceal my entire lid. If you're like me and you have dark circles or dark halo areas under your eye, we're going to go ahead and color correct those so that when you do put on makeup, you don't have to do it so heavy, and also so they don't creep through under your makeup. What I'm going to be using for a color corrector for dark colors is going to be good to use, depending on your skin tone, an orange or a golden color. If you're more brighter than me, you'd use a golden color. If you're darker than me, you'd use an orange. If you're similar to me, you'd probably want to mix these two colors together so that you get a peach, and I'm going to show them to you. If you are my color, then you'd probably mix these two. If you are darker than me, you'd probably just use this orange. If you are brighter than me, you want to just use this yellow. But for me, I mix the two so that I get a good color correct under here, and that way you won't notice when I put my makeup on. I do not have dark circles, but my skin is, I guess, what you call halo under here, where it starts to sink in. So it does look dark under there, but it's not really dark circles. If I pull it down, you can tell it's not dark. I've already mixed these two together. You don't want to blend it to where it's gone, but you do want to blend it in a way that it's down. Because we also want this to look super natural and super clean and super clear, we are going to blend it a little bit more with our beauty blender. If you don't have a beauty blender and you have a sponge, any sponge will do. You just don't want to over blend it. But if you can see, it's starting to go away a little bit. Not completely, but away enough. Before I start my makeup, I always go in with some type of spray or some type of moisture. Even though I have moisturized with the Vaseline and the Nivea cream, I still want to spray it so that my makeup sticks to it. One of my favorite sprays for this is the Fix Plus from MAC. I love this. I put it on all throughout my makeup process, and that's how you create that dewy look. I am going to also use a strobe cream. This creates like a highlight effect under there, and I use the color Peach Light. If you can see, it starts to give me a glow. Now, if I was not going to complete my makeup, or if I just wanted to wear something natural today, I would probably just pop a concealer on top of where I just went in with the color correct, and then use my strobe cream, and I'd be set to go for the day without even needing a full face. But if you can see, do you see how hydrated my skin looks? If you have any excess on your hands, go ahead and rub that down. If you do not have a strobe cream and you have Nivea cream and highlighter, put some Nivea cream on your hand and put some highlighter on there, mix it all together, rub it back in. Same effect. Now my skin looks radiant. Now we're gonna go in, we're gonna spray with the Fix Plus, and then I'm gonna apply my liquid portion of my foundation right on top of everything. So you'll see how it starts to blend down and how it looks with everything on top. The reason why I do so many layers of skincare before is so that I don't have to cake up my makeup. Even though I don't have problematic skin, I still don't want it to look cakey at the end. I want it to look soft and natural, and I'm barely there. If you like that look, then you'll love how this turns out. I am going to apply my makeup with this brush, liquid first, and I'm gonna go in, not too much, because a little bit goes a long way. The reason why I keep pushing it into my skin is because I want this to be flawless. So I don't want to just brush and go. Makeup is such a process, and it matters on how much attention you give to all of the areas on your face. So many people, I can look at it and tell that it's not blended down at the very top once they're done. If you ever see blush or contour and it looks like it's just stuck there, it's because each layer was not properly blended. And the more you blend in the middle of this process, the less that you're going to have to blend all that back down at the end. So it's okay to take your time. I definitely take my time. I do not rush my makeup. Now, I'm going to go in with my concealer. Many of you have asked me about this highlighted concealer area that we do as makeup artists. So I can't wait to share this with you all because it's so popular right now. Some people are doing it not right. I'm not going to say that it's wrong. Some people just aren't doing it the correct way. I want to make sure that I show you all the right way. This is how that effect is started. We're going to blend this all down. I'm going to spray it again because, like I said, the more that you spray this out, the more dewy it's going to look towards the end. I'm not going to let that dry, but I am going to go ahead and start blending. So now that I've gone in with my concealer, before I put in my setting powder, I am going to blend it back out again, but I started up in my creases so that it's a lot more product up here so that I don't have to blend it as much. Also, I start up here so that it's more product in this area. I can drag it downward and around here rather than outward, making my face look really wide. This makes my face look more slim and more thin and more pulled in. But also, too, when you go in with your setting powder, because it's a little bit more product here, it minimizes the creasing effect. I'm going to use a pink setting powder just because I love how this blends in with my gold undertones. I don't use a yellow. I'm already really yellow and really golden, and I have gold undertones. It just makes me look overly yellow or overly gold. So you can use this or a white or whatever setting powder that you currently have. But if you are gold like me or have a golden undertone, try using a pink or transparent setting powder to pull out some of that color. If you are like me and you have smile lines right here, I'm going to set those too. I don't leave mine sitting because I don't want to look ashy. So I put enough in, just long enough for it to sit while I finish the other areas of my face. And then I come back in and I brush it off with a nice feathery brush. It blends and removes the excess, so it's not too much. Same thing with my chin. I do a circular motion so that it's not cakey. We are going to come back in with our powder, but before we do that, we are going to spray just a little bit more Fix Plus. I'm going to use this same brush that I used earlier with putting on my liquid foundation. It's now dry, which is why I did that way early so that it could dry down a little bit. And then I'm just going to press this into my skin. That's why another reason why you don't want to overdo your liquid foundation, because I use the same brush again. You don't have to if you have another big poofy brush, but I try not to have too many brushes. If I've done my highlight too bright, I will go over this with the powder. If I didn't, then I kind of leave that there and just blend in the edges of it so it feeds right into my foundation. So if you've messed up anything, never feel like, oh, it's too bright, I can't fix it. Just put some powder on top and keep moving. Now you're going to take whatever contour you have, and I don't just, swoosh it up. I do everything decent and in order so that by the time I'm done, it looks blended and less blending. I don't want to spend unnecessary time. So because I did my setting powder with this, I am going to flip it over so that I don't get that back into it, but I'm going to use that to blend this all back out. I do like this thing. You don't want to drag it down either because you're going to drag it down into your foundation, so be careful with that. Once I see that it's pulling down enough, then I'll push it back up. And then I come around to the top. And we're going to spray this too, but we're just doing this right now with the dry side. We're going to come back in and spray it. We are going to spray so that we can blend down the nose, and then we'll go back in and make sure everything is even. I always blend the sides first before I blend the top so that I don't have much to blend when I get to the top. And it also pushes it over to make it more thin too, a little bit. Now I'm going to come in and blend the top. You do not want to overblend this because you will wipe the contour away, and you don't want to wipe it away. You just want it blended so it looks natural. Now, if you want your nose to be more defined, then you can go back in with a little bit more concealer, or you can put a lot from the beginning. I want mine to look natural, and I want it to look like it's real. I don't want it to look overly contoured. So I want it to look like it matches my face. And because I still have some things that I have to do to it. So This is how I like mine blended down. Now, at the beginning of doing my makeup, even when I put the Vaseline on my face, I did do Vaseline on my lips as well. If you have Carmex, go ahead and do that. By the time you get to the lip part, your lips will be nice and moist. So I typically do that at the very beginning so that it's prepping my lips for the very end. Now I can tell that my lips are almost ready for me to start putting on my lipsticks or whatever gloss you're going to do at the end. We are almost finished, you guys. And this didn't take long and it's not hard. It was so super simple. Depending on whatever kind of blush you're going to use, I like to get a lot on there and barely touch my skin and go up so that I don't drag my makeup down and create dark effects on my face. But I'm using a pinkish color. And don't worry, we are going to blend this all back in. But do you see how radiant my skin looks with all of the prep that we did under there? I don't have on any highlighter, but it kind of looks like I do. I'm going to take this same blush brush, and this is how I'm going to blend my brush and highlight and all of that in together. I'm going to dab it into my highlight that I have. And now, I'm going to brush that up. And this is going to magnify your blush. It's another reason why I use the same brush. Now, many of you have seen me do this, and we're going to blend that all back out, don't worry. Many of you have seen me do this highlight right here. I use a different highlighter there. This one is more of a gold color. The first one was more of like a pinky rose gold. And I do this here. I'm going to show you why. See my skin, how hydrated that looks? So now I'm going to spray just a little bit more and we're going to blend this down. We are almost ready for lips and liner. If you're going to go natural or you're going to keep this on a more everyday look kind of feel, you probably do some mascara, some liner, some gloss, and be gone. But, or if you're going to do very, very, very dramatic, this is where you come back in and do your cut crease or your glitter or what have you. But this is something I want it to be more of like an everyday look. Or if you are going to an event and you want to look nice, but you don't want to overdo it. Or if you don't feel like your skills are at a place where you can do super crazy foundations and eyeshadows and glitters and all of those things, then you can definitely keep it here. You can pat your lids with some glitter, and I'll show you all that because I'm going to do that in a minute. But perfectly fine to go here. You look super natural. All you have to do is come back in and blend this down. But again, you look super natural, super ready to go. Everything's nice and well blended. Now I am going to do some eyeliner, and then I'm going to do my lips, and then I will do some patting of my lids, but that's about it. I do not love lashes. You all know that I wear contacts. They irritate me, so I'm not going to be doing lashes right now, but I will be doing some mascara after I line my lid. This can be super simple or as glam as you want it to be. You can do a wing or not. One of my favorite things to do is under here, putting mascara down here. Then it starts to look like I have my lashes done, even though I don't. I do not get my bottom lashes done because I like to protect and maintain them. I'm not a fan of a lot of glue. I'm not a fan of a lot of glue in my hair, my lashes, or anywhere else. So say for instance, you want to give your lids a little bit of love. I have this peachy color that I will sometimes put right here. It's not too much, but it's enough. And then I will come back in with my blender brush and just blend it out across the top so it doesn't look like I just set it there. And there you have it. I am going to put some mascara on the top, and then we're going to spray, and we're done. Like, I am all for quick and easy. The reason why I didn't do this right after I did my liner and I did the bottom first is because I wanted this to dry. Because I didn't want to be lifting my lid up while the liner was drying. Even though we seasoned our lips earlier, by the end your lips can tend to look a little dry. So I am going to put some more Carmex on before I do my lipstick, and that keeps your lips from chapping, cracking, and peeling underneath your lipstick, especially under matte lipsticks. If you're using a matte lipstick that's going to settle and look, it's supposed to look dry at the end, you want to use less Carmex so it doesn't look glossy. But if you're using a glossy lipstick, use however much Carmex you want on this step, but your lips will look nice and moist. Now, after I line my lips, I do like to blot that in so that it also blends. Everything is about blending. And I am going to put a little bit of eyeshadow in my crease before I put my lipstick on. I'll show you why. So you could do this with any lip brush. You could do this with a brown lipstick. You could do this with more liner. I just so happen to like how it looks with my eyeshadow. I am out of my absolute favorite lip gloss, so I'm going to use a different one. I think I'm going to try to squeeze some of my fave out. Now this color pink is a color that I have mixed up, maxed up, and pushed in here. I've had this for a long time, and when I run out of it, I get a few different pinks that I have and scrape them like these, and I scrape them, mix them up, and then I push them down in here. So please don't ask me what color this is, because I've made this color up over the years and I just keep using it because I like it. Now we are done. We can spray and be on our way. I'm going to be using the Fix Spray, and then I'm also going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter so that this can last throughout the day. If you have errands or whatever you have to do, it's going to stay, your makeup's going to stay put and look flawless. Even at the end of the day, your skin is well protected. So at the end, all you do is use your regular makeup wipes or regular makeup remover and then go in and wash your face. You'll notice your skin is going to be unharmed, very protected, very clean, and very clear. And then I let that dry, and then I come in and I do the next spray. Always want to let the one layer dry before you do it, because if not, if you spray too much or spray both of these at the same time, your makeup's going to run. If you are really feeling this makeup look, or if you really enjoyed this tutorial, you want more tutorials like this on fashion, beauty, and business, and how I'm able to grow my business online, and I can help you grow yours too, go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Lynn Bays.